You guys will hear me say a lot of things about the AOH drawing method. You'll hear me bring it up all the time. Many of you have been around long enough, you've actually seen me do the demonstration of the AOH. As a matter of fact, the people in the chat room, about half of the people in the chat room were present during the first time I did the AOH drawing method tutorial. But that was an hour-long program, and I'm going to demonstrate the AOH drawing method rapidly for a $2 Tuesday tutorial. So let me zoom in here. I'm recording here where it counts. If you want to, I don't think you can.
So the sound is coming over.
Yeah, the sounds, but I'm still broadcasting. I need to sharpen my pencil. There's nothing magical about the AOH drawing method, and the AOH drawing method is really just for beginners, except that once you begin to use it, you'll see it everywhere, and you'll get your hand-eye coordination to the point where you don't need to actually draw the shapes or the letters in to see to see what's there, or to draw what's really in front of you. But the AOH drawing method is really very basic. It's a great tool for beginners, and like I said, when you start getting into mastery, you'll see the shapes without actually having to draw them in. So let me just very quickly run through the basics of it. A, O, and H. I hear people tell me all the time, I can't draw. I can barely draw stick figures. But then I watch them sign their name. I watch them write letters. I watch them fill out documents and fill out checks and all kinds of other stuff. And that tells me that they can write the letters A, O, and H. And if you can write the letters A, O, and H, then you can draw a triangle, a circle, and a square or a rectangle. And if you can draw a triangle, a circle, and a rectangle, then you can certainly draw a cone, a sphere, and a column. Now, what's the difference between a cone, a sphere, and a column, and a triangle, a circle, and a rectangle? Well, a triangle, a circle, and a rectangle are all on one plane. It's all two-dimensional. It's just flat on the paper. It's just a circle. It's just a rectangle, which is a shape with 4 right angles. It's just a triangle, a shape with three angles, versus a cone, which is a rounded 3-dimensional. The difference is the shading. The difference is how you pull it out into reality. The sphere has shading around it, and we're going to get into shading. I don't want you to think that you have to watch multiple episodes of this, but I do want you to understand that not every episode of the $2 tutorials is going to give you everything you need to be an artist. But I guarantee you, if you get this concept that everything in the world is made up of, if you get the concept that everything in the world is made up of cones, circles, and columns, if you catch on to that philosophy, and so you learn how to draw columns and spheres and cones, and you learn how to draw those things, if you learn how to draw that, you can draw anything in the world, because everything in the world is made up of spheres, columns, and circles. You know, from your very basic ice cream cone, which easily lends itself to this idea. Now, I've already added embellishments. You can see I've already added embellishments, but you can see the big shapes right there. From your very basic ice cream cone, right? from your very basic ice cream cone to a teapot, to a tea kettle. We don't drink a lot of tea in our house made from a tea kettle, so you'll have to bear with me if this doesn't look anything like a tea kettle that you're used to. Everything in the world is made up of those shapes. If you look at this tea kettle, you'll see I have a flattened column, right? I have a flattened column, shaded like a flattened column. I have a cone, shaded like a cone. I have a column here, shaded like a column. That could be a gas can. It looks more like an American gas can than an English tea kettle, but it doesn't make any difference. You can still see the basic shapes. If I knew more what a tea kettle looked like, I could draw a tea kettle from imagination. But the point of the story is right there is everything you need to know about drawing. Everything you need to know about your basic drawing. If you wanted to draw a cat, and you started with a circle for the abdomen area, you added a circle for the chest area, you added columns for the front legs, you added columns for the back legs, you added a circle with cones for ears, and a circle, column. You can see easily how the shapes begin to lend themselves to any drawing in the world. Anything you want to draw. Anything you want to draw can be made from the shapes of A, O, and H. It's just a matter of looking for and seeing the shapes. And then shading them properly so that they fit into what you're trying to draw. So anything after that is practice. Anything after that is practice. A, O, and H equals a triangle, a circle, and a column. If you can write the letters A, O, and H, then you can draw a triangle, a circle, and a rectangle. A square, by the way, is just a squat rectangle. A square is a rectangle is not a square. If you can draw a triangle, a circle, and a rectangle, then you can draw a cone, a sphere, and a column. And if you can draw those shapes, then you can draw anything in the world. So what I challenge you to do is go out into the world and look at various items in the world and try to find the big shapes and look at their shading. The next few episodes of $2 tutorials are going to be specifically about shading. As a matter of fact, next week I'm going to talk about shading of a cone. So tune in next week. We'll talk about shading of the cone. You don't have to watch these in order. It doesn't make any difference if you watch the shading of the cone or not. You can go back and you can watch the one about the dinosaur if you want to. But just know it's there for you if you need it. So that is this week's $2 tutorial. If you have enjoyed this week's $2 tutorial and you want to see more of $2 tutorial, go to Artistic Biker. Go to classroom.artisticbiker.com and click on the links there. There are a whole lot of tutorials there. Many of them are just $2. Hence the name, $2 tutorial. The money raised from there just goes to pay for the internet stuff so that we can continue to broadcast, so that we can continue to host things here, so that we can continue to do things like have the kids here on first Saturdays for the Arts Club and other stuff like that. So we really appreciate every one of you that drops your $2 to watch one of our $2 tutorials. The tutorial will be free on YouTube for about 4 weeks, and then it'll go into the vault. But I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. That's this week's $2 Tuesday tutorial.